The New Blueprint, Energy Forecast. By Emmanuel Dagher. Hi amazing friend. This entire year has been full of powerful shifts that have shaken us to our core, and September was one of the most intense months we've experienced so far. Many people have reported feeling disoriented, dizzy, and exhausted, and perhaps more sensitive or emotional than usual. Each time we travel through these shifts, we detach more and more from the old energy structure, which has kept us from living as our authentic selves. Though it may look or feel like things are falling apart in different parts of the world, or even our own lives sometimes, the changes occurring right now are not only shifting our core priorities and beliefs, they're shifting the inner heart of life on our planet. This is a time of amazing transformation. We are seeing a miraculous rebalancing of humankind's feminine and masculine energies. Here we are speaking of feminine and masculine energies in the universal sense. We are looking past physical identities and social roles right now, and speaking purely about higher energies. And how do we know this is happening? A whole new self-image. Have a look around right now, and you will see that almost everywhere in the world, the old ideas are being completely rewritten, as we adjust to an outpouring of the divine feminine presence upon the earth. Systems that were once based on the low, dense outlook of separateness and service to self are now having to either completely reinvent themselves by integrating with these higher energies, or simply dissolve. Let's look at the Middle Eastern, Asian, and African countries. So many women in these countries are beginning their own businesses and becoming leaders in their communities now, and protecting women's right to education and healthcare. In the Western countries, governments, banks, and monetary systems are being pushed into higher levels of honesty and transparency. Around the world, there are millions of conscious businesses forming now. These are holding the intent of serving the world and giving to others, instead of being centered on just taking from others. We are seeing this rebalancing now, because Earth has entered a whole new era. A new era begins, as you know, thousands of years ago. Earth was a peaceful, global society. Humans, animals, plants, the earth, everything coexisted in peace. The basis of life was love, unity, honesty, respect, and service to others. People honored both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. But over time, this perfect balance was released and forgotten. People began to increasingly disconnect from their true identity. They disconnected from the earth, and from one another. Human consciousness fell from the higher dimensions to the very low third dimension. The thousands of years that followed this fall into the density of the third dimension were an era that I call the Great Forgetting. This was the start of human beings forgetting that they carried divinity in them, that they were divinity itself, expressing in physical form. As they took on the third dimensional perspective, they got increasingly caught up in fear, defensiveness, and separateness. Life was no longer about joyful, conscious creating. It became centered around pure survival. We also came to form low, dense ideas about feminine and masculine energies. We began to see them as separate, and even opposed to one another. Masculinity came to be viewed in terms of control, domination, manipulation, greed, and competition, which created a global us versus them mentality. People came to overvalue outer accomplishment, such as winning battles and competitions, as well as blood sport, ownership, clan loyalty, physical strength, and aggression. At the same time, we viewed feminine energy as being inferior to outer strength, action, and control. We saw femininity as weakness, and nearly all females as being made for subordination and subservience, a life of obedient silence. Our perfect integration of masculine and feminine was lost, as we allowed the lower, denser aspect of masculine energy to control everything. It made the rules for our economic systems, governments, education, religions. It even controlled our thought processes and our actions as individuals. Yet all of this was simply part of the role we had created for ourselves, for whatever we would eventually learn and gain from playing out this game of forgetting our true selves. Because no matter how deep we seemed to fall into separation and duality, a part of us, our spirit, never fully forgot who we are. Our beautiful spirit knew that eventually, over different lifetimes and experiences, we would one day fully acquire all the learning and higher wisdom we had chosen to learn, and remember our divinity once again. And over the past few decades, an astounding healing has been taking place. We have been steadily releasing the old outdated belief in the separateness and inequality of feminine and masculine energies. We are seeing an even bigger upgrade, a massive shift in the collective consciousness. Billions of people around the world are now remembering and anchoring the highest aspects of both feminine and masculine energies in every area of life. The sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. So what are the sacred feminine and sacred masculine energies, in their highest forms? The feminine is the creation spark that anchors the spark of divinity in everything. It is the powerful force that manifests the visible from the invisible realms, using the gifts of creativity, love, beauty, and nurturing. The masculine is the activation of that design, demonstrating higher design through intent and outer action. When the feminine and masculine energies combine in effortless co-creation, they bring divinity into outer form, in all its amazing manifestations. However you might be seeing or experiencing it right now, know that what is happening to you is the end of the great forgetting. We are now seeing the beginning of the great remembrance. The divine feminine and divine masculine energies are again interweaving into a perfect joined flow. What we are all experiencing is simply a beautiful rebalancing of those two energies. On a deep level of our collective being, humanity has now decreed that the divine feminine must be allowed, respected, and even celebrated. And the great mother within each of us has not only heard, but responded. The divine feminine has now reawakened in human consciousness. As a result, even our individual priorities are shifting powerfully. Many people are feeling a strong pull to redefine their purpose in life. They are no longer settling for a life that doesn't bring them joy and fulfillment. It's true that this kind of inner shake-up, which is a redefining of your inner purpose, is a big move, and it can leave many feeling shaken and confused. But this great inner shift means that soon, each person will clearly see the path they need to take in order to live out their higher purpose. A whole new blueprint. Many men who used to embody a great amount of the old masculine energies are now quickly realizing the old ways no longer work anymore, or that they are simply no longer allowed. Some men and women who mainly embody masculine energy are finding it difficult to transition out of their old masculine identity, because they are still living almost completely in their mind and ego. Yet increasing numbers of men are responding to the energies now flowing powerfully throughout the earth. They are opening up to intuition, heart-based realizations and motivation, and the ability to nurture others. The current energies are giving them the chance to embrace, love, and unite with the divine feminine energy, so that they can release the old wounded masculinity and embody the new, higher blueprint of divine masculine energy. This new divine masculine lives in perfect balance with the divine feminine. It both values and lives from the heart and the intuition, and the creativity, respect, and service to others that flow from them. Both women and men who have allowed others to control them for thousands of years. But now, whether it's in their marriages, friendships, or in the workplace, people are no longer tolerating domineering or other low, dense behaviors anymore. They are standing up for themselves, speaking from the heart, and stepping into the power of their true, balanced, authentic selves. Another amazing shift happening right now is that many women are noticing that the men who are accepting and embodying the divine masculine energies in their lives are more often treating them like goddesses. These men are giving themselves permission to give to and honor women, in ways they may never have explored before now. If you are receiving this special attention from the men people in your life, give yourself permission to enjoy and receive this kindness. It's long overdue, and it's part of the new balance that you are also demonstrating now, as you allow masculine energy to honor you in new ways. Both males and females are adjusting to this rebalancing of energies. If we are experiencing an inner struggle in this area, that might be due to not fully embracing the divine feminine within ourselves. There are many ways to do this. Expressing ourselves through dance, art, music, spending more quiet time with Mother Earth, or doing helpful volunteer work with children or animals, are all wonderful ways to open up to an expression of the divine feminine. It's also very important to nurture our physical, emotional, and mental bodies right now, so that we can more easily ride the wave of the divine feminine energies pouring in at this time, allowing these shifts to flow through us. It's essential right now that we nurture ourselves, because that is a huge part of anchoring the divine feminine energy in ourselves and in the world. Each of us has our own unique way of nurturing ourselves, whether it's breakfast in bed, taking a day off work to relax, meditating and talking to our guides, absorbing the beauty of Mother Earth, or whatever nurtures us in a positive way. Nurturing ourselves naturally leads us to nurture the world around us. Even when these shifts seem huge and challenging, know that in this amazing, earth-changing moment we are stepping into a new era, and we chose to be here to experience it. Till next time, miraculously yours, Emmanuel.